So the other night, moments after Shohei Ohtani had become the first player ever to go 50-50, 50 plus homers, 50 plus steals in one season, I recorded a video with a stunned and potentially knee-jerk overreaction that the case had just been closed, that Shohei's the baseball GOAT. My man Deion Sanders backed me up the other day when he said, and I quote, "Ohtani, he's incredible, man. You can compare him to the Jordans and the Tom Bradys of the world. That's who he is. He's doing things we haven't fathomed," said Deion Sanders, who did start in center field and bat leadoff for those teams that I previously mentioned. Deion knows what he's talking about when it comes to baseball. And yes, sir, Ohtani is doing things we have not fathomed. He's about to win his third MVP in 4 seasons. And of course, when his arm has been healthy, the man has gone 38-19 as a pitcher, including an ERA right at 3. In 2022, he finished 4th in the Cy Young race with an ERA of 2.33. Extraordinary. And he's now stolen 55 bases at 6 feet 4 inches tall and 210 pounds. And he, who knows, may wind up leading the league in homers for a second straight year. Lord have mercy. No player has ever been this all-around versatile. I mean, Babe Ruth couldn't run. Barry Bonds didn't have much of an arm. Ohtani is actually what you'd call a six-tool player, maybe the first ever six-tool player. He can throw from deep right field to third base, and he can pitch. Top 5 pitcher pitch. Ohtani is definitely the tools GOAT. But here's where I overreacted. Conclusion jumped. I wasn't thinking at that crazy moment, that goosebumps moment, that Shohei Ohtani has never played in the postseason. Not a single swing, not a single pitch. As you probably know, I'm all about the playoffs, the money games, the ones that really matter. Now, do I think Ohtani will be great when it matters most? I do. But he's now the best player on the Dodger team favored to win it all. Time to back that up. Maybe time for me to calm down just a little, just for a moment. So this is what's dawned on me. Identifying the baseball GOAT is way, way more complicated than concluding Michael Jordan, obviously, and Tom Brady, obviously. The problem is the most valuable players in baseball are starting pitchers who can pitch only every 5th or 6th or sometimes even 7th day, unless they're Ohtani or Babe Ruth. So baseball was my first love when I was a kid, but Babe Ruth was even before my time. So I did read some written for kids biography of the Babe that really didn't do his career much justice, and not until last night did I look hard at what he accomplished. Of course, until Hank Aaron came along, Ruth was obviously the greatest home run hitter ever, finished with 714. But I did not realize that Babe Ruth pitched Boston to 3 World Series titles, pitched them to the titles. In 2 World Series, he went 3-0 with an 0.87 ERA. He also led the league in ERA 1 year, along with going 23-12. Whew. Whoa. Wow. Yet, as you know, Babe Ruth did not have to compete against Black or Latin players. And as you probably know, Babe Ruth was a fat guy. So for me, those 2 factors somehow always disqualified him from being in the GOAT debate. Which brings me to Barry Bonds. I had the honor and privilege of covering Michael Jordan in Chicago and Barry Bonds in San Francisco. Barry Bonds was the greatest hitter ever. Ain't even close. The only hitter who ever had the advantage over the pitcher. While Barry was winning 5 MVPs in San Francisco to go along with the 2 that he won previously in Pittsburgh, Barry Bonds shattered Ruth's single-season records for walks and intentional walks and on-base percentage. That's because nobody would pitch to Barry Bonds. He'd only see, and I was at many of these games, maybe a couple of hittable pitches a night, and he would invariably hit those hard, either off or over the wall. And yes, 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 I know all about the performance-enhancing drugs. Barry actually came late to that McGuire-Sosa party. But the steroids did not enhance Barry's ability to put bat on ball solidly, nearly every single swing, bat on ball with the rarest of hand-eye coordination. Steroids didn't help that. And by the way, Barry did win 8 Gold Gloves, and he did steal 52 bases one year in Pittsburgh. That was pre-steroids, before he got big. But I must admit, Barry's postseason numbers never quite lived up to his regular seasons. In fact, by his standards, they're pretty sorry, except for that one great World Series he played in when, late in Game 6, I was there, with a 5-0 lead and a ring nearing his finger, Barry started clowning around during a late at-bat. Then Dusty Baker looked like he was celebrating prematurely. And those Rally Monkey Angels fought back, and they won 6-5. Then they won Game 7, and Barry Bonds wound up with 0 rings. Not goatish.